What's going on, folks? Simulation for the Nation here, and welcome back to Longford Farms as we continue to build this map based around Farmer Phil's map. Now, last time we were here, we were looking into this little yard here that was just a yard, a storage yard more than anything else, and you folks in chat decided that you wanted to have a cattle yard in here, so cattle are in. You'll notice there's a lot of gates missing because I haven't done anything with the animated script yet, so the gates don't work, so I've left them off until I get those working. But the cattle are in, all the functionality works, so you got your feed and trough along here, and then just around the corner over here you will have the various different pickup points, triggers, and storage areas, which is good. So that's all good and done. Now, turn that off. We're going to go for a little bit of a drive because there's been a lot of detailing work put in recently, and there's a big new yard gone in as well that we're going to have a quick look into, because that's quite a significant area to get to actually, so we need to have a look into that. There is now a little old shed at the back of this house here as well. I guess at one point or another that might be a small little cattle shed, but it's there. It's just decorative, there's nothing else to it really, but it's in, that's the main thing. It's important to have that decoration in there because there is something there in real life, so you want to make that as accurate as possible. We're going to head on past the turn off to the main yard, and there's been a lot of field work done. I've mentioned in the last video there that I like to mix it up and do a little bit of field work. There's a lot of field work left to do. I'm probably, in terms of mapping out fields, I'm probably about oh geez, I don't know, maybe 60% done, but there's a lot of small fields to get in, especially when you get just over the side of the farm there. But we'll have a look into that shortly. But as you head along the main road here, which has of course got all the traffic splines in, you'll see that on both sides now the road is fenced off. There are fields, and there are many fields as well. So all these fields are true to form based off the Google Earth images. So all correct scale to one another, and all pretty accurate. So it gives you lots of different shapes and sizes of fields to work in. It's all on this side, they're all interconnected as well. So not only can you get in from this side along the road, but also from the field next to where that farm shed is that we were just at. And then right at the end here, before you get off the map border, we have a little house, or a large house actually, with a little paddock in the background there as well. Just purely decorative, but it's there. So that's at the edge of the map here. You'll see the map is currently still got the Calms and P on there, but you'll see we're in the very, very southeast corner. Now, over here, you'll see you've got a few larger silage fields with an old derrick building in the middle. You got a fence line splitting that field up there, and then a larger field over here as well. What's going to be interesting for us though is what lies up on the field over there in the trees. So we're going to make our way on up there. We're going to go past Farmer Phil's yard itself, have a little bit of a peek in to see what's happening. There's a lot of small decorative work to do still, and tweaks and adjustments to make. Things like telegraph poles need to be put in across the map, and there's going to be a lot of them as well based off the infrastructure I have seen, and a few other bits and pieces, additions to make the verges look a little bit more realistic for me, but we will get to that one. As I mentioned, we are making good progress. There's still a lot of houses to build. Houses are the things that slow me down the most, and there's a lot left to put in there, especially when we get up along this road here. But we're making progress, and also we're going to stick the animal dealership up here as well. I've got a plan for that now. There's nothing else new over there to look at. I haven't even touched the farmyard for a while, but what we do have is this little road creeping up here now as well. So again, the same silage fields on the right. That field there is going to have the new farm shop that's been built in it. I have a plan for that one. I've been given a bit of a sneak preview of what that looks like so I can make it work. And we're going to stick it on into there, which would be rather cool. And so you can really see now, you can see the land on the far side there along with the farm shop, with the vehicle store, beg your pardon, and the sell point over there. And you can see the bottoms that have been landscaped in, you can see the work that we've got to do. There's a lot of smaller fields, like I mentioned, kind of in the little bit of a valley here, but we will get to them and we'll make it work. Right now though, of course, we're just scooting on up to the top of the hill here. And I'll probably stick in a bit of a Google Map shot as well so you can see. We've got this little residential house on the left. Big fan of the Citroen 2CV cars, it would appear. But yeah, looking over the valley there. And then on the right, well, looky, we've got ourselves a nice little yard. Now this yard, based again off Google Maps, would appear to still be in use. You can come on up to the side here, there's a big old farmhouse, and if we cut across the grass here, well, there's a little old gateway to get out here as well. I might put some iron gates on the end here. I think it might look the part, just to get it all closed off. However, this yard Now this yard I'm going to leave up to kind of like dealer's choice really, because I know a lot of people would ask, oh, are you going to put this into a livestock farm? And the answer is yes and no. So to begin with, this large kind of Dutch barn with extensions on, I don't know what this is what's in here. Google Maps can only show me so much, and what it shows me is that there is a slide in like a roller shutter door there that we'll add on. So I've left this as a machinery shed. Pretty straightforward. And there's also a fairly new looking cattle shed which we've built here as well. Now based off of the scale of the map, I've tried to build up as much and as accurately as I can, which means it is quite tight. So there's a couple of options in play here. This is just, I've decided, going to be like a storage yard. And then you got a silage pit right here, and then a shed there as well. What I am thinking, because we just got a bit of height on here, have a look around it all. What I'm thinking of doing, and what I have done, is I am not going to put animals into here that I am aware of right now. I'm not going to put any placeables in here because it's ultimately from a gameplay experience. Look how tight it is. You'll struggle. It'll be a big job to get like a feeder wagon into here to feed everything up. But what I will do is that actually has a texture on it. It just doesn't look like it. It looks very white, but there is like a plasticky texture on those gutters. What I have done, and what I will be doing for the rest of the buildings, is if I come on into my construction, and then you come over here and tap on the skip, it's going to remove all of the rubbish. So we're going to get all of this barn rubbish to be cleared, and what I'm going to do is make these two sheds the same. I might keep these here just because it adds a little bit of structure to the farm, and I might even make that as a possible bunker. But I'm going to make these two disappear as well. So you can actually, if you really want to use this farmyard, I don't think many people will, because frankly, I think if you're playing this map whenever it does come out there, you're going to be playing it for Farmer Phil's yard anyway. So, but what I will do is make it that you can just remove these, so you can put one placeable shed down or do whatever you feel with it. But I'll give you the option, and simply by clicking on that, everything has been sold, and look, it's all gone. So that gives you a little bit more space to work with there, and you can really play about with it however you see fit. And yeah, so we've got a whole new yard in here. Now, the reason why this was so cool to get put in is for a few reasons. One, it allowed me to finish framing off those fields around the side there, which has all been done. But primarily, it gives me the border so I can start to build in the farm shop field, because what I want to do very soon is actually start to get back down onto the main yard to get that worked on, because it's been a while since I've even touched anything on there. You know, there's a lot of small detail work to be done, but there's also a lot of larger detailed stuff to be doing as well. So, for example, small textures here and there, I want to completely redesign and rebuild this, because there's been a few changes. Now there's now a pig yard in here, of course, and I want to make sure that is all accurately reflected, which at the moment I can guarantee it isn't. So we want to make sure that gets changed. And additionally, things like the farm shop plan, we can start to put that into place there as well. Get this field put in, and once you get that field put in, then you kind of open up the doorway to get this track in and get these fields all done there as well. So that's what we're thinking. That's what I'm thinking about trying to get done next, and that will really start to kind of key in this yard to the rest of the buildings on the map here, and also the rest of the field work on the map. It's coming together though. You can see what we've got left to touch over here, really, and there's a lot of field work. The animal dealership's going to go somewhere over there in the middle of the display, so that'll be all set in. That's the last real sell point that I need to put in. Everything else is in for right now. We'll have a sell point at the farm shop here, of course, and that'll be going in. It's just a matter of time, really. And I also have a plan. I've got to confirm what these were for. We might make that happen. A little bit, have to redesign that and rebuild it, but that might be something we do just to make something work and give it a bit of a different approach. So watch this space for that. But there we go. Farm Phil's map is coming together. Longford Farms is adding bits here and there as we get towards it, but it's starting to get a bit of character and it's starting to look a little bit more populated, which is perfect. So stay tuned for more updates. They are going to slow down now, and this. The more I've been working on it recently, the more I realize it's very unlikely that it will be coming for FS22. And probably a lot more likely for FS25, just purely based off of my personal circumstances and what's happening over the course of the next little while. But with that being said, we will see how we get on. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Catch you then.